make sure you grab your popcorn. Grab your popcorn and be ready for this. So we are now going to talk about Marathon and how the developers decided that it was in their best interest to go live and to talk about their game literally a day or two after one of the most viral controversies to hit gaming in the last couple of months, right? We're talking about 8 million views on a tweet. So this is the Twitch page. This is the Twitch page. And you could already tell. This is the beginning. This is 10 seconds in. This is 10 seconds into the stream. You got one guy looking like he took a bunch of drugs. And you got the other guy who's like, I don't want to fucking do this. I don't want to do this. You can clearly see, like, he is not happy. And you know how things are going to end bad for them. You know how things are going to end bad for them. I'm going to show you. You already know things are going to end bad when one of the first comments that shows up within 3 seconds. I don't know if you guys can read it, so I'll read it for you. Within 3 seconds, the first comment says, I truly hope they talk about the anti-real thing on stream. Credit the artist and apologize live, not through a corporate statement. And then 3 seconds after that, what's the next comment? Chat is going to absolutely crush Bungie's balls today. 6 seconds, and you got 2 comments about the controversy. You guys are cooked, bro. So anyway, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to look at this stream, and there's a couple of things I want to hit on in this stream. Number one, these people are the ones that always attack YouTubers. They make fun of us. They say all kinds of things because, you know, they're the mainstream. They're the ones who have the access. They're the gatekeepers, right? All of these people that work at these studios, they always have people that are just always attacking YouTubers. And yet, these fucking losers couldn't even set up a stream properly. They couldn't even set up this stream properly. They had so many audio issues. They had so many issues. It was clearly unprofessionally done. But these are the people that make fun of us. They do it every day. Okay. So I'm going to show you about a minute or two of the beginning. And then we're going to fast forward into... Because I want to look at the chat. I want you guys to pay attention to the chat, even though I know it's going to be hard. I want you guys to pay attention to the chat to see exactly what we're talking about here. Here we go.
Camera is up.
I'll let you know, too.
The audio? Yeah, audio.
It'd be awkward if you...
All right, so hold on. Pause. The chat is flying. The chat is flying right now. Look at this. Stolen art? Question mark?
We've got some spelling errors in there.
Oh, yeah.
Look at the next one. The next one. Theft needs to go punished. Elephant in the room. Haha. Bro, oh my God.
Twitch is live. Twitch is live.
Hi, Twitch.
Stolen
We'll
art,
start
little
in a
pup.
second.
Emote only mode incoming. They were saying that they were going to turn off the chat. Bro, stop stealing art. No pressure, fellas. Uh-huh. I'm sure this chat's going to be civil, somebody says. Let's see what happens. Oh, man. And you know what's happening? So really quick, I'm going to let it play. I promise. I'm sorry. I just find this all to be hilarious. These two people, mainly the guy on the right, are going to be reading chat a lot throughout the stream. Mainly the guy on the right, which is why he ended up making that face towards the end, because after only 1 hour of dealing with this, he was already over it. He was sick of it. But let's continue anyway. These are the professionals, guys. These are the gatekeepers of the industry. These are the pros. Somebody says justice for anti-real. Explain the stolen art. Hire the art.
How's it going? I'm Joe.
Pay the
In case
artist.
you don't know me, I'm the game director here on Marathon. To my left here, or potentially on right on your screen, depending on if it's mirrored, is
Their
Joe
audio
Cross,
is
everybody's
unsynced, bro.
favorite Joe, our director on Marathon. Sitting
Oh, that's who this is? Oh, man. This is Joseph Cross. This is the art director. This is the guy who was following the artist for years. Oh, shit. And this is the game director. Okay, I get it. All right. I was wondering who this was. No wonder he's so fucking miserable. You got. He got. That's why. Oh, okay. Makes sense. That's the guy. That's the guy right here.
Sitting across from me, who's not on camera, is Andrew Witz, gameplay director, and we're gonna spend some time talking about some stuff today. Our show is a little bit different today. We planned actually to show a lot more stuff, but
oh my god,
for a lot of reasons we're
bro.
about to get into, we decided not to show a bunch of this stuff. But we are going to be discussing a lot about what we learned.
Oh wow, so they didn't want to show a bunch of stuff for reasons. I'm sure they have nothing to do with the fact that people were going to be screenshotting anything that you showed to see if it has any stolen artwork. I'm sure that's probably why they're not showing anything in this stream, even though they initially planned to, most likely.
Through alpha, some of the plans that we're going forward with. But before we get into that, Joe Cross has some sort of topic that he wants to
Huxley
talk to
says
you
this
all
is
about.
punishment. Look at him. Facts.
Yep. Thanks, Joe. And hey, everyone. I'm Joe Cross, franchise art director of Marathon. Yeah, and wanted to take a minute to talk about some of the events from yesterday. It came to our attention, and sorry, I wrote this. I wanted to make sure I get this message right.
He didn't write shit. You know who wrote that? Legal wrote that. This is so awkward. Legal wrote that. What he's about to read, Bungie's legal team wrote that shit. I guarantee you. He's nervous as hell. Yeah, exactly. Freaking sweet. He is nervous. This man he's cooked.
It came to our attention that an artist who worked on Marathon in the early stages of pre-production took a number of graphic elements from a graphic designer without permission or acknowledgement and placed them on a decal sheet that was then checked in 2020. The decal sheet included icons and text elements. These elements ended up in our alpha build. And there's absolutely
interesting how his audio, now that he's talking, his audio when he's talking about this situation suddenly gets fucked up. He's literally reading the same statement that they put out online. So he's not even saying anything new. He's reading the same legal statement that they put out on Twitter. Look at the chat. The chat's like, pay the artist. L Bungie. Will the artist get a job at Bungie? Address the accusations. LOL, like y'all don't follow the artist. Laughing my ass off just reading a script. That's the whole game, buddy. You were the one following as well. You knew. Typical Bungie stealing. Emotes only incoming.
absolutely no excuse for this oversight. And we are working on and 100% committed to our review process to ensure instances like this don't happen again on Marathon or at Bungie. A few of the things that we've done over the last 24 hours and what we're doing to shore up the review process are as follows. We've reached out to Anti-Real, the artist in question, and followed up to ensure that we do right by this artist. We're auditing all of the previous work by the artist, the internal artist, including the environment decals already in the build, which is part of why we're delaying some of the content we're going to show today.
Oh, so they admitted. They're delaying what they were going to show today because what they were going to show today has the stolen art in it. Oh, man. And legal was like, no, you can't show that. You can't show that. The comments are like, delay incoming. Nice damage control. Please delay the game. You should be fired. What about the other 3 times? The poor $9 billion Bungie. Boo-hoo. Oh, no. Does the thief runner let you steal stuff? Oh, my God. Oh, my God, bro.
And we're committed to removing anything
They're
that
so
is
cooked, bro.
questionably or inappropriately sourced. We're doing a very broad decal audit, and if we locate any other details or elements, we'll make sure that those are eliminated, recreated in-house for sure. Hundreds of artists have worked on this project for years.
So they're going to be eliminated, recreated in-house. Oh, so all you're going to do is, instead of directly stealing, now you're just going to slightly alter them so you could just be inspired by it, essentially. It's a little too late for that, right? It's a little bit too late for that.
Years internally and externally, and we share many influences.
Exactly, recreated. You guys know what that means.
modernism,
Recreated.
Swiss typography.
He looks
2000s,
miserable. Yeah.
Style vector art, cyberpunk, and of course the original Marathon trilogy. Our style is a result of all of those inspirations. And it's also worth noting that none of our external partners who've worked on branding or any part of the visual design of our game were involved with this situation. And lastly, personally,
they're trying to absolve anybody else. Look at this, our style. People are laughing because they're like, our style, LOL. Explain why you and several others were following this artist and why we should believe you weren't part of the theft of the art. Thieves. Oh my God, dude. Dang, chat. Decals, LOL. Address it. It's a she, and no, she did not invent that art style. It's been around for decades. Well, she sure as shit invented the stuff that they stole. So that's really all there is to say.
You know, I have a huge amount of respect and admiration for artists working independently, producing, making a living, doing commercial or fine art.
Oh, 100%. They spoke to him behind the scenes. They 1,000,000% spoke to him behind the scenes, and they're making him read this for a reason. They're like, you're the art director. This happened under your watch. You got caught. You read this shit. That's why he looks the way he looks, because he knew what he was going to have to do.
And we've worked with many of them. It's one of my favorite parts of the job, is to make those connections and you know, create content and collaborate. And so to that extent, I want to send my personal apology to Anti-Real, whose work was used in this case. And I know how unfair this feels, and we're doing everything we can to make this right with her. Her work is fantastic, and we clearly share mutual appreciation for a specific genre of graphic design.
Do you hear? Wait. Do you hear the way that they're speaking? This is a legal letter, bro. They're like, we share mutual appreciation for the style of graphic design that is showcased in Marathon. They're basically trying to imply that they didn't steal artwork from her. They didn't steal artwork from her, because there's more in there other than just decals and whatnot. But they're trying to make it seem like, oh, no, it's only a little bit of stuff, but we all share a mutual appreciation for that style, you know? This is a legal letter all day long, bro.
It's very exciting, and I'm excited to have folded that into our style in general. So thanks for listening.
They folded it into their style. Oh, Raw Pie says only admits when caught. Basically, you don't respect her. All this talk of respect and integrity, he's like a worm. They got caught 2017. We're in 2025. For over 8 years, they have reached out. They didn't then. And when it got called out, it was a former employee. No, you built the aesthetic off her work and hope no one would notice. Bungie bad Bungie. Holy shit. These comments, this is only 5 minutes into the stream, and these comments are already going off like this.
For your patience.
So yeah, absolutely, and thank you, Joe, for coming in and chatting with us about that. Yeah, if you have any further questions about that, feel free to ask them as we go along. We're probably gonna transition now and just talk a little bit about Alpha. And Alpha was a big milestone for us. There was a lot of stuff that went into it. It was always intended to be kind of like a smaller slice of the game, you know.
All right, I want to skip ahead
as we were going into it. Feel free to talk, by the way. It was always kind of meant to be a smaller slice of the game. It was always meant to be sort of like testing a little bit more.
So that's the intro, right? Now, there was a segment in the stream, I don't remember exactly when, but they were obviously taking questions from the chat, and it started to become a thing where the chat got filled with nothing with other than just stolen art, that they started just making up questions. And Asmon Gold had called it out on his stream. It was hilarious. And it gets to a point where you start getting these faces. Hold on. It really is great. There is just like nonstop stone cold facing, no matter what still you go to. Oh man, he looks mad. Let me try here. Hold on.
System, or at least have the option to change cores with some material expenses.
I think we're trying to make the lower level of build, like the baselining of build crafting, something that you can establish through your black market a little bit easier, like acquire and build in that way. But there's always going to be like a difference when it comes to high rarity things. High rarity things,
so
like for
mad.
example, there will be builds that involved having a really rare item that may not be something you can always have. But
Somebody in the chat says, will you steal any of our gear at any point in the future, i.e. sunsetting our gear? Oh my God.
like we want you to get more involved at the lower level of build crafting where you feel like you can actually kind of do that kind of thing. But yeah, Andrew, I know you.
I think we agree with the statement that was in the question, which is like it feels hard to maintain like a build, and we need to. We're looking through a bunch of ways, through black market or like through bartering or something like that to kind of like be able to get the right verbs. Maybe it's not the same thing that you.
Somebody said your art design is very unique and interesting. Can you talk about the inspiration for the art style?
Holy shit.
Oh my God, bro. Question: how are you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing great. This is insanity, bro. Oh my God.
Because we still want you to kind of go and loot things, but we want to have you have verbs that you're like, I like when
He's
I'm
getting
playing
madder and
glitch,
madder.
and,
Look
like,
at
this
this.
is like the overall verb set I would like for the glitch, and you having more.
Stop reading the
opportunity to
chat,
be
bro.
able
He's
to
reading the chat.
go
Stop reading
back
the
to
chat.
Go back to that well versus like, oh, though my access to the well is purely based off of the randomness of the container.
I think that's it. I think it's like, if you think of like if the like lower level version of it, the middle version of it, and the perfect version of it, right? We want you to have access to like the lower or middle version, depending on how you've like, done that. But the perfect version of it, I think some pieces.
Another person, bro. Hold on. They're basically copy and pasting this question. Your art design is very unique and interesting. Can you talk about the inspiration for the art style? That's a totally different person who said the same exact thing. Like they are, oh my God, bro. This person is cooking him. Cyber says, looking into this, looking into that. We are iterating on this. We are looking into that. Dude, releases in 4 months. Bro, this game is going to get delayed. This game has to get delayed. There's no way that this game is going to meet its release date. And if it does, it's going to be cooked. It is absolutely going to be cooked. I'm trying to look and see. Okay, there we go. All right. That's
things that if you lose them, you'll have to find them again, right? Yeah.
So Drifter wants to know, is there any discussion on reworking the resurrection of dead teammates system? Would like to see this addressed before launch, as rezzing dead bodies seems is bad for the tempo of the game.
We concur. Yep. I'll just jump in and say, yes, we concur.
Oh, this comment. No, don't do this to them. Somebody asked about stealing in-game items, and this fucking person responded, and he said, LOL, you would think that they would be good at stealing at this point, but I guess they're just totally creatively bankrupt. Oh my God.
Holy shit.
Oh my God, bro. Come on, don't do that to him. Holy shit.
Yes, we concur. Whereas about a bunch of work is going into it right now. We basically have our kind of one axis of a solve we have for right now is increasing the resurrection time and also having it so that every time you go down, the timer does get increased.
He's getting madder and madder.
Down, like you kind of like your ability to come back into, back from the abyss is harder and harder.
This person is calling him out because again, at this point in time in the stream, just an FYI, at this point in time, he might be holding back tears. I don't know. At this point in time in the stream, what they're doing is they are not answering in chat questions. They say they are, but if you scroll through and take the time to look, it is proven that they weren't answering anybody. They're just making it up. They're making up answers. This person says your focus on this game should be player interaction, but you guys are ignoring the actual questions. I'm worried this game is not going to release on time. A delay looks inevitable. Oh yeah, they're They're going to delay the game 100%. This guy says plagiarism will make me God. This game is unfortunately going to do bad. You're killing this game. There is less views here than alpha players. Ooh. I wonder how many people were actually watching this stream. I'm very curious. I was watching with Asmongold, so I really don't know.
We're also looking at, we also did a bunch of changes in the alpha around like the timer, we saved progress timer. So when alpha first came out, it saved your progress.
This person says, if you go free to play, I promise you'll get more players than Concord. Holy shit, man.
Entire time. So you could like get to halfway, take a fight, and then go back and kind of just pay for the half of the res timer. We did have a decay, a pretty aggressive decay on that, so it goes down. And we're looking at other things too, that if that's not enough.
Honestly, at this point, I'm not sure. I gotta imagine it will, because PlayStation is pretty stubborn. So I gotta imagine it will. I think Bungie will absolutely release this, but I think this controversy has definitely hurt it. Right? Because it was already not going to do that great. It was going to do good enough, I think, with the built-in Bungie fan base. But I really do believe that this controversy, this is pretty bad. It went really viral. We're talking 8 million views on that tweet, to the point where they had to read a legal letter at the start of this stream. To the point where this man, look at this fucking man, bro. Look at this man. Look at this man, bro. Look at this. You think, I guarantee you that for the last 24 to 48 hours, this man has heard nonstop about this artist. At work, at home, he's heard it nonstop. Look at him. Look at him. That is pure depression. He doesn't want to be there. He wants this shit to be, oh, he's broken. He's broken. He's done. He's felt it. It's crazy.
We definitely know that resing feels a bit too free. We're also taking a look at the messaging. I know that there's the that little the little stick figure above the bags and stuff.
He absolutely got yelled at by anybody who's above him, guaranteed.
Stuff that we adorably call the little gentleman above the bags.
It is crazy.
We're looking at
everybody laughed at that joke. Guess who didn't laugh? Him. He doesn't want to. He is mad, bro.
That actually being a tell, so you can't just like camp the bags the entire time. We liked the texture of being able to know whether or not like a crew was downed, and like
this person says, you did this to yourself, Bungie. This game will die. Your studio will cease to exist. Your reputation will be completely irredeemable. Remember this day, your community sees through everything. Damn. This person says, will you take away content that I buy? Oof. My God, they got so many. Do you guys lose your jobs if the game flops? Oh my God. What audience are you trying to tap into? Chat, did they talk about the stolen art? That's all people care about now.
Making combat decisions as a crew about that, so you can kind of like, coalesce from the information.
100%.
I think we're seeing that
he is the art director. It's all on him. 100%. That's why they made him read it.
Once you give too much information, obviously, like it just like you can have too much action in terms of what to do and where. Like
it's so true.
You can stay in the area knowing that there might be like a clutch play happening or something. So I would say we agree with the baseline is that resing is too free.
Yeah.
And we're not looking for just purely punishments where if you do get fully dead, like you feel like coming back and being alive is like not worth the time. That's definitely something we don't want to do, and so we're trying to make it so that there is a thing for continuously dying, and then resing does feel really clutch when you do it, but it's not a guaranteed thing.
I know we've talked about it, but I think the sort of place we're trying to land ultimately is that if a person gets downed, resing that.
Do you guys think that he lost his? I don't think he lost his job. I don't think he lost his job, but I do think that whoever is above him at the studio are probably looking to replace him. If I was him, I would be worried that my job, even though it's not lost right now, I would be worried that my job is probably going to be coming to an end at some point very soon. I would not be surprised if we hear a headline of him either leaving the company, because they don't want the headline of him being fired. At least I don't think so anyway. But I think he is definitely on thin ice. I don't think he says a word very much in this entire stream, aside from like a little comment here and there. He really just stays quiet the entire time.
Like not down, but like not completely eliminated, but like down, right? Like knocked down.
He's crying on the inside. Definitely.
In combat is
definitely
hard,
crying.
but it's doable. and if they get eliminated, getting them out.
Tosi, so it's not that he was the one stealing the art necessarily. We don't know who stole it. I feel like it was a lot of people who stole it. I feel like they all are involved in this, not just him. He's obviously going to be the fall guy, but he is the one who has followed this artist on Twitter. And there are other people, by the way, at Bungie who follow the artist. So it's not just him, but he's the art director. So surely he must have known something, right? This is why people are going after him the most. And honestly, he does deserve it, because chances of him being involved are very, very high, in my opinion.
Like resing them in combat is really, really, really like very almost difficult to do, right? You really want to do it once you've cleared the area. Is that the intent?
Yeah, we want it to be that, like, doing it in a fight is not as you don't want to take that on as often as you did in the alpha. Like, I think that's something.
There was a moment that he got really pissed
in the middle of a fight, go in the back and like res.
I don't know if we
and then,
skipped
like,
it.
Now it's like the numbers game of it's like okay, it's 2v3. Okay, now it's 3v3. Okay, now it's 2v2. Now it's 1v2. Okay, now it's 3v2. And so, and you know, whether backward death.
I'm skipping ahead a little bit.
Yeah.
So I've seen a lot of questions in chat about like, where are the aliens? And there's another question. It's like, where is the 4? Are they coming? You want to speak to any of it?
There was a question where there was such awkward silence. I'm trying to find it.
I mean, we have plans for like a lot of alien stuff coming, and if we're ready to
part of the baseline of
touch of it already that we have in testing, you know. But I can't. But I don't know if we're ready to talk.
Yeah,
about
there
all
are
those
no
plans
questions
yet.
like
I mean,
that.
like those are.
They're just making it up.
Content, but it's not kind of we're ready to show yet.
Oh yeah, his face is getting redder and redder.
Yeah, part of like part of the baseline of Marathon right now is the table stakes of the universe, right?
Yeah.
And then we're trying to build, but not like build in like a
Oh, somebody is saying, look, stolen art in a poster behind them, because it has the same symbols that they're being accused of stealing. Holy shit, bro. Oh man.
way, but like build aggressively towards the alien friction that I think everyone's kind of like leaning at and kind of like, you know, and heading towards, and like in their and
This person says, I hope you all enjoy being Sony employees real soon.
in their wants. But we're trying to get there in a way where we get the table stakes, and then, you know, we go from there. Even some of our weapons, I know that there was means that this is the base that we can. Doesn't mean we're not.
We're at the start of a journey that we hope Marathon is taking towards, you know.
You're on the start of a journey, all right.
A much bigger story, you know, but you want to start at a place that makes sense.
Yeah, there was a really great conversation yesterday about something in this vein, and the excitement was very high in the room about it. So
yeah,
if you like aliens,
he
and
is
mystery,
so
I
over
think,
it.
We're actively having good conversations about that.
He is fucking over it, bro. Awkward silence. Awkward silence.
I feel like we say we talk a lot on here. We have conversations about.
What the fuck was that, bro?
Holy shit.
Wait. Go back. Hold on. Nobody say anything. Nobody say anything. Hold on. Watch this.
about it. So
yeah.
If you like aliens and mystery, I think we're actively having good conversations about that. I feel like we say we talk a lot on here. We have conversations about. There's things we're building. I guess
There are things we're building.
I could damn near play the entire Jeopardy song in between the time that there was that awkward silence, bro. What the fuck was that? Oh my god, bro. I didn't realize it was that long. Holy shit, man. Somebody stole his soul at this point. This man is checked out of the internet. He's checked out of the world. This guy's loving it because he's like, shit, it's not my fault, cuz. This guy's like, I fucking hate you. Hashtag Asian hate needs to be a thing again. This is amazing.
There's things we talk about with the goal of building, and then things we talk about knowing we will be building them even further in the future, and all those things are true. Yeah.
It's like, what do we do?
All right,
Again?
so time for
Again? Wait.
There's things we're building. I guess I want
Yeah,
to say.
there are things we're building. There's things we talk about with the goal of building, and then things we talk about knowing we will be building them even further in the future, and all those things are true. Yeah.
It's like, what do we do?
all right, got time for I got time for one more question.
Oh, okay. So this is it. So this is where I was watching. This is where I was watching Asmongold's stream. I mean, I was watching it for a while, but this is where I really like paid attention hard at the screen. And at this point in time, what happens is after those like multiple awkward silences, they say they got time for one more question. So when you look through the chat, you start looking at all the questions and you realize that wasn't asked by anybody. The question I believe you're gonna hear them searching for a question. Let's see if this is the part that I remember. Hold on, let's see.
Are there any plans to expand the verticality of the early game maps by increasing their depth and complexity? For example, by adding more underground locations that could be unlocked through collective community progress or
verticality, right? Okay, so we paused it, right? Let's look to the chat. Did anybody ask a question about verticality? Let's see. Anybody ask a question about verticality? I'm looking. Are there any plans to change the duffel bags? Okay, that's not it. Are you going to remove the duffel bags and leave the runners? Okay, that's not it. Any question about verticality anywhere? How much will the game be? Nope. Any question? Please pick my question. Can we please get a way to put personal touch on our runners? Okay, that's not it. Is there any information you could provide on how we can experience lore within the game? Okay, that's not it. Will there be an in-game match shop system to buy contracts? Okay, that's not it. Let's see. I'm going up. Are you going to remove the duffel bags? Okay, that's not it. Any thought on removing the duffel bags? That's not it. Long-range projectiles? That's not it. How can we trust this game is being delivered to the fullest? That's not it. Are there any plans for Destiny Marathon crossover? That's not it. Will we see better tracking of materials? That's not it. Will we ever see larger size maps like Arc Raiders? That's not it. Bro, they made it up, bro. They made this shit up. There's no question anywhere about verticality. Doesn't matter how high you go up. I don't see any question about verticality anywhere. Can we get cinematic cutscene priorities? Nothing. What's planned for the Lucky Charms seen in the cinematic trailer? Nothing. Are you going to remove duffel bags again? Nothing. You're selling us a car and promising it'll have wheels eventually? What about instead of a longer time for fully down teammates? Nothing about that. Why should anybody buy this game at launch? Where's the question? Will there be any in-match? Look, this is, bro. They lied through their teeth, bro. They lied through their fucking teeth. They were not answering questions that were in the chat. At this point in time, they were literally just answering questions that were already predetermined for them before the stream even happened. There is no questions anywhere about vertical anything. And yet they said, yeah, so last question about the verticality. Like that's nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found. Zero.
Completing some kind of raid-like mechanics?
We've talked about how we use we're probably going to be shifting around how we use some of the existing spaces, to be fair, like in terms of thinking about how we're going to add more complexity in ways that we approach those maps, right, Lars? Like in terms of thinking about it, but like
he says, bro, I'm not going to lie, I feel bad for this guy.
I know we've talked about how
we were going to show more. Yes, remember, they had fully planned to show gameplay, footage, screenshots. They didn't show anything. They showed literally nothing because all of it has been tainted by the artwork that they stole. Legal probably told him, you can't show a fucking thing.
Live game, we want to continuously sort of like add to these maps and think about them in the future. But yeah, Lars, I know you guys have talked about it.
I think that's a good way to think about it, where you were just talking about the alien stuff and how we start at the baseline. I think the maps we think about it in the same way. And obviously, there were some nooks and crannies in the maps that were in the alpha, and it obviously wasn't all of the content we plan to have when the game comes out. And so, but yeah, we see it as, again,
Stop reading
creating
chat.
like this really satisfying baseline and then looking for room to grow and how we increase that.
Bro, this guy keeps reading chat. He's doing it to himself. He's doing it to himself, bro. Stop reading chat. You could see him reading chat. And this is why his face gets more and more red.
Complexity over time. And I would say some of the maps, the newer maps that we're working on right now, take that into account even more so than Perimeter and Marsh. Even though we had a lot of those conversations early on about Perimeter and Marsh as well, and then which saw things like the underground sort of gold locked room that was underneath AI Plank, or the sort of twisty and turny tunnels that are underneath bio research. And so yeah, again, I think it's like starting at the baseline and then figuring out the right things to add and thinking about that approach from first principles going forward too.
Oh my
All right,
God.
Joe,
Awkward
do you want to
silence
close
again? Are you
Yeah, again, I think
What
it's like
is with
starting
this
at the
awkward
baseline and then
fucking
figuring
silence?
out
Are you
the
guys
right
that
things to
incapable?
add and thinking about that approach from first principles going forward too.
All right, Joe, do you want to close us out with anything?
Yeah, once again, I want to appreciate everybody for like sort of
He's
not just
speaking
joining
real
us here,
fast
but
now.
also
He's
whoever
like, get us the
participated in the
fuck out of
alpha,
here. Get
whoever
us
was
out.
part of watching it, or just even part of the Discord.
Get
We
us
really
out.
appreciate it. We're really like excited that a lot of people are interested in sort of seeing where we evolve this game and sort of how we're continuing to iterate on it and make it better. So thank you all for the feedback. Thank you all for the questions. Thank you all for the sort of
He can't even look at the camera, bro.
And
You know how unprofessional it is to just be looking down like that the entire time as if you're looking at your phone? Like, bro, look at the fucking camera. You're talking to your audience. You're hosting a live stream. Look at the fucking camera. If you're on camera, look at the camera. I'm not saying have a death stare with it, but goddamn, man, the entire time you're looking away, like you can feel and see the shame that this man has for getting caught. You could feel and see it. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, bro. Engage with your audience. There are people that are in the chat that are trying to ask genuine questions. Now, granted, they're getting cooked most of the time, but there are people asking questions about Marathon. Those are your potential customers. You should be focusing on them because they're the few that you're going to have, right? You already probably lost a bunch of customers because of this controversy. Focus on the little bit that you have left, but you're too busy sulking in your chair and you're like, oh, legal, maybe read this. I just want this to be over. I don't want to be here, blah. People can pick up on that pretty damn easily.
For sharing your feedback and opinions with us. It's all super valuable, and we've been listening. We're like constantly talking about how to tackle it. We're doing a lot of things already to tackle it. We're sorry we couldn't show anything this week. Unexpected conditions came up, but next time we want to be showing you a little bit more about what we're working.
Look, somebody says it right here. Yeah, Joe looks so excited. My God, everybody could tell this man is just not wanting to be there.
And hopefully that'll be exciting to see. But yeah, thank you all very much. Look forward to talking to you again soon. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure you are. I'm sure he's not. Really quick, guys, for those of you who are watching this stream tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I have a deep dive that's coming out about Bungie's entire history, the amount of times that they've stolen art before. And obviously, I'm going to include this controversy as well. It's about an 18-minute some odd video. So please make sure you guys check that out. Give it some love. Give it some support because the message has to get out there more and more. Obviously, it's out there like crazy. It's got an 8 million viewed tweet that people are roasting them in from that artist. But, Bungie, this is not the first time they've done it. They've done it many, many times before. And I think more people need to know the history of it. So I have a video coming out tomorrow going over that. Make sure you guys watch it. Give it some love. Watch it for as long as you can. Like the video, comment, all that good stuff. It's gonna be a wild one. I'm sure a lot of Bungie shills are gonna be in the comments of that video like, you are an asshole. I'm like, all right, sure. I'm an asshole. Anyway, all right, guys, let's catch up on super chats. That was really awkward, man. That was awkward. I think while reading the super chats, I think we should just have this up. for the sake of the internet. I think that's going to be the I'm disappointed in you, son. I think we're going to have it up because a lot of super chats have to do with Bungie. So I figure let's just put it up there and then we'll read. We'll definitely read. That was painful. The awkward silences. It's almost as if these guys have no synergy. It's almost as if they don't even work together. How are you the game director and the art director, and you guys don't associate enough to the point where you can't avoid awkward silences on a live stream? We're talking about 10 to 15 second awkward silences on the live stream. It's because you know why? I'll tell you why. They're not trying to talk. What they're trying to do is get through it. They are reading and waiting for prompts from whoever was leading that live stream. They had certain questions that they knew they were going to be asked, and they were waiting for it to be asked. They didn't want to talk about anything outside of the script. The script had to be followed from beginning to end in order for them to make it through the live stream without risking the company in any legal way whatsoever. That's honestly what was happening there. So they weren't trying to talk organically, which is why everything was so awkward, which is why everything was so weird. It's because it's not an organic conversation. It's we know that these questions are here, we have to answer them, and we have to get out. So that's it. He was staring into the abyss for 50 minutes. Yeah, seriously. Bro, his eyes though, sheesh, man. Yeah, it's pretty bad.